Hello, Carrie Lawson. Hello, nephew H. Davis. How are you today? I hope you are well. I do. You know I do. All right, welcome to Remain Calm's channel where I commentate and I give my opinion. Today, we are going to be covering a video put out by Lippy. Hashtag love Lippy. Hey, Mr. A. I do really like Lippy. I always have. I did see the songs, H. Thank you so much. That was so sweet of you. That was very kind of you. Thank you for that. For real. I have always appreciated Lippy's content. Always, always. She just put this out a day ago. And Lippy I do get her notifications, believe it or not. I know a lot of people don't get notifications on channels that they're sub to. I don't get them on hardly any of them that I'm sub to. I usually always just catch them live when I sit down here at my computer. So this is part 4. Chapter 4, part 1. And it's called Married to the Case. Okay. I am participating, Lippy. I am participating, girl. I love Lippy put that something about when it stops becoming commentary and becomes participation. Now, I think what she meant, hey, CM, was the fact that speaking of Ziggy, right? Ziggy went from being a commentary channel. This is just my words, okay? These aren't Lippy's. From what I've seen, Ziggy went from commentating about missing Summer Wells to being a active participant with some of the shenanigans that were going on in Summer's case. I hope that's what Lippy meant. What I mean by saying that I'm participating as in, I want to show you guys Lippy's work. I hope you guys appreciate it. Please go sub up to her. The title, her link is in the description. Hey, the mouse, good to see you. So you guys, please go check out Lippy. I'm participating by kind of giving my opinion, but I do want people to know over here, I am a commentary channel and I do give my opinion on a lot of different things. Your opinion doesn't have to be my opinion, okay? Now, we're going to switch things up a little bit. You can speak on whatever you want in chat. Please just dress your words up. I'm still going to do that even though I'm not monetized right now. I want to kind of keep with the flow of what I've always done. So I've never hid that my channel is a commentary channel or that I give my opinions. So let's get into Lippy. Lippy. Okay, I want to get her at the very beginning here. Okay. So, hey, Bomber Cat. Hey, Marie, good to see you. Oh, thanks you guys for popping in and saying hey. That means a lot. It really does. Okay, let's get started on here. Of course, I'm going to be stopping it. I always have too much to say. Everybody knows that, okay? Hey, Constance. Good to see you, lady. Okay, here we go.
January 2022, Ben Hill Road. Where a family trip quietly vanished, her daughter's emotions became storyline material, and Ziggy started asking for locals close to the case to come meet her. This is where the story stops being commentary and becomes participation.
Okay, so that is what she meant. Ziggy goes from living in a different state, talking to different people, commentating, et cetera, to actually going to Tennessee. Now, look, this is just my opinion, okay? Wow, Marie. Yes, Constance, this is Lippy's video. This is Lippy's video. I have her, the link is in chat and also in the description. Lippy's link is in the description, you guys. It's in the description of yesterday's live, even though I didn't show it. I'm still going to leave it there. I am. We are going to leave it in there because that's how we roll over here. I have always, yes, I agree, Constance. Hey, Stephen. Okay, so Ziggy decides that she needs to go to Tennessee, right? She's got to be there. She got to talk to all these people, right? Well, it's awful funny because two people did not talk to her, and they actually had a conversation with Ryan, right? Hey, Zena, good to see you. Hello, Army Vet. Oh, it's good to see you guys. Thank you for popping in. I always appreciate it. I sure do. Okay, so, this is what I remember. Ziggy is immediately given dollar signs from Molly Golightly. Molly Golightly just thought it was fantastic that Ziggy went to Beach Creek, right? So she helped her out a little bit.
Welcome to Chapter 4, when Ziggy met Fred, the bed, the bones, the bullshit. Months after spreading rumors from 1,000 miles away, Ziggy finally decided it was time to go to the source, literally. The day she drove into Hawkins County and entered Ben Hill Road for the very first time. What happened on that trip wouldn't solve anything, but it would change everything.
Yes.
Because this wasn't just a visit. This was the day Ziggy crossed the line from covering the story to becoming part of it.
Yes.
And what she walked away with, in just a few trips, would follow the case for years.
Right? Yeah, my life does involve a lot of summer wells because we cover it all the time on here. But there's other things to do in Tennessee. So while I'm here, enjoying like Gatlinburg and different areas that I'm gonna take my daughter to, kind of like a field trip, educational field trip for her, but not, I'm talking about going to Gatlinburg. We'll take her some cool places.
Did she do that? Does anybody know? Right? Does anybody know if she actually went anywhere else besides Beach Creek when she went to Tennessee the first time? I mean, hey, not that it's any of my business, but I'm just asking. Y'all know I ask a lot of questions.
We're gonna go probably to Hollywood or something. Gonna go to Bays Mountain. There's wolves up there, like a wolf sanctuary or something.
So, okay, she's already talking about going to Bays Mountain. Is there a wolf sanctuary there? She did say that, not sure if she really went anywhere. Didn't she go to the fancy hotel with her girl? Maybe she did. How fancy was it? Inquiring minds want to know. I thought she was just sniffing around Fred. Ah, ha, ha, ha. Ah, ha, 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 ha. I love the way you put that. Hold on. Excuse me, I had to cough. I had to cough.
I want to go check that out. There's some really good like local food areas. There's other things I'm going to do, but while I'm here, yeah, I'm going to drive by the house. I'm going to check out the lake. I'm not going by the house near dark time at all, nor am I going by there just myself and my daughter. If I went there, if I go near Donna Candace's, it would be during the day with a local, more likely in a local vehicle.
That's not what happened though, right? Might have not have been the first time. I think it is, and I think Lippy shows it, Zena. I believe that there is a wolf. Ooh, Karen, I bet that's beautiful. I bet that is beautiful. Up in the mountains and a wolf sanctuary. That would be so cool. Not that I would get in a cage with them or anything, you know. I wouldn't do that, but.
Yeah, Pigeon Forge is kind of close. Nashville's not close. So yeah, like anybody who's local who has, or anybody who's local has any cool ideas or whatever, message me or email me. If you have anybody cool that I can talk to about the Summer Wells case, and I'll be respectful. It'll be on their terms. Like if they don't want to be videoed, then I don't have to video them. But there's certain things I will take my daughter to, and there's certain things I won't. It just depends the circumstances while I'm down here. You know what I mean? So.
But okay, this is one thing I've always had a problem with. A child went missing in Beach Creek. If you really, and I want to put this out here, okay? I watched an interview that Nana for Life and Finds Ryan's Truth did with a local woman who had basically been annihilated by social media. Hey, Poppy, darling. Hey, my insane world. Real clap, you guys. I always give credit where credit is due. I really, I don't want to say enjoyed it. That was such, I appreciated that. I appreciated that. You know, after a lot of bullshit that some of these creators have done and caused for people in that area, that interview, that was a good interview for me. I don't know if anybody else would enjoy it, but it was nice to hear someone just, you know, speaking their truth. And it should really show people that these individuals from that area, from that state, and from other states did not hesitate to try to ruin anyone's lives from that area. They really did. They didn't care how they made these people look. Everything was negative. Everything, especially that Ziggy and Fred talked about, was definitely negative towards any name that came out of their mouth. I mean, that's what I see. That's my opinion, and I'm going to stick with that. Hey, Chris.
She really wants one of those dogs, though.
May. Now, the dog thing. All right. I don't know what the fuck was going on with the dog thing. I love you, May. And Look, this is what I remember of it. She ended up with a dog. Dawn gave her a dog. Okay. It became a big to-do that Candace didn't want her to have the dog. The dog was too young. It became a hot topic on YouTube, right? We need to get the dog back to Candace. Oh, no, well, we'll pay for it to go to the vet. That, to me, was wrapped up in dollar signs, okay? That's what I knew of the dog situation. I thereafter didn't pay no attention to the dog situation because, hey, you know that when you got a missing child and you take a puppy from the dog that is said to be her favorite dog, that's going to give you attention, right? Well, this is the thing, Karen. I guess that should have been taken up with Dawn Wells then, right? Dawn's the one who gave her the pup, for sure. But my thing is, and this is just me, okay? Why would you, whether you're with a local or not hesitate to take your child into an area where a child has already went missing and you are not a local? You are not a local. Now, obviously that didn't bother Ziggy, right? That didn't bother Ziggy. And, Dawn and Ziggy had at least talking relationship, right? But something happened with that. Something happened with that pretty quickly, right? Kind of weird.
She will not stop talking about those dogs. And it was cute. She's like, was that Summer's dog? And then there was like right near Dawn's road, there's 3 poster.
And let me tell you guys something. I'm sorry, Lippy. I keep stopping it. I know I keep stopping it because I got too much to say. I'm the bitch who has too much to say. We all know it. Hey, little Meech. Maybe loco, but not local. Well, anywho. Excuse me, you guys. I need to get my cough drop. Okay. What was I going to say? I was going to say something real important. Dang it. I haven't seen it. She seems to only take Bandit out in a cart. Hey, September Angel. I'm the trickster, Karen. You know I am. I'm a trickster, and I know it, and I love it, because I'm the trickster. Heck yeah. Okay, so what else was I going to say about her? It'll come to me. I promise.
They're like, it's like a piece of paper with Summer's picture and information on it in a plastic sleeve. They need replaced because they're all weathered. My daughter went up and, one of them has her little...
That is, I believe, Ziggy speaking of the location where Nana for Life was going back and resupplying the missing posters for Summer. Okay. That was where they had the argument, or her and Dawn, Nana for Life and Dawn, had an argument about that stuff. So yes, they did make a huge deal out of the dog. And let me tell you guys something, whether you believe it or not, and I don't care how people make their money, there was quite a few creators that made a little bit of money off of that little puppy's back. I'm telling you, it's the truth.
Paw Patrol toy on it. My daughter's like, oh, was that Summer's? It was really cute.
She talked about Dollywood and Gatlinburg.
Oh, I may have been getting ready to talk about a incident where Ziggy had her daughter, right? Ziggy had her daughter and her daughter's friend at her residence. They were speaking about something, and her daughter's friend says, "Oh, is that the little girl who's not alive anymore?" or something like that. I remember that. I'm sure you guys remember that too. That was really odd to me that a young girl would, verbalize that in the way that she did. Kind of weird to me, right?
Painting this trip as some kind of family getaway. And yes, she had a local with her. But the moment they got on the road, the tone shifted. Almost instantly, she leaned into her daughter's emotions, talking about how she'd mentioned Summer, and how she wanted one of the Ben Hill dogs.
I want to have a messy dog. She really wants the brown one really bad. She's like, she's like, can we just take them?
So you admittedly had your daughter at 110 Ben Hill Road, is what you're saying. Not knowing the circumstances, not knowing what happened to Summer, not knowing if something could even happen to you, possibly the local you were with, that would leave your daughter in a not good situation. Now, obviously, that didn't happen. Thank goodness. Right?
Like, no. He wants a deposit for a puppy. Well, these weren't puppies. These were adult. These were puppies, I think, like summertime, when Summer went missing. I think Yucky or Lucky was pregnant.
Months after building a narrative from 1,000 miles away, she finally decided to enter it. Hawkins County.
Here we go.
Ben Hill Road. The place she had been narrating from a distance.
Yes,
and while some arrivals are quiet, others come in like a freight train. Because before the bones, before the neighbor, there was anticipation. She didn't just want to see Ben Hill Road. She wanted something from it.
She did.
The case had already become personal, but that night, it became physical.
And let me say this, because we go all around over here. Like I said, you guys want to throw something in chat, remind me of something, please feel free to do so. But I will never forget, and if I'm wrong, please tell me I'm wrong, where there was talk of a neighbor selling a shirt that she had on while she was looking for Summer Wells. Am I wrong? Somebody please tell me I'm wrong. Please say, hey, RC, you're not remembering that right. So you got someone who's like, hey, you want to buy my t-shirt? Right? She auctioned it off. Thank you, Carrie Lawson. Who the fuck does that? Who does that kind of stuff? Right? So, made a new life for content, clicks and coins, never for the safe return of sweet Summer, in my opinion. You heard that too? I remember the never selling or baffling offer grody shirt. Yes. Yes. For sure. $50? $50? Hey, flies. Then didn't send the shirt. She had it about a year ago. She did it during the fundraiser. Oh, she raffled it off. Raffled it off for the fundraiser. Lord Jesus, take the wheel.
I thought they had their tail. Oh, you're right. They probably cut them themselves when they were. That's crazy. YouTube would go insane if you got one of those dogs. I can't just take the dog. You first have to get Don's permission. Need him to talk to me, but he's not responding because he's got, which is fine. He doesn't have to talk. He's not required to talk to me. I thought.
Why wasn't he responding? Inquiring minds want to know. I want to know. Lilo and Stitch shirt. That is crazy. I'm sorry. That's crazy. That's craziness. That is just crazy to me. Now, I guess if the money went to the reward fund, then so be it. But I don't know. I thought it was in poor taste, but then who am I? Right? So, Dawn Wells, she makes it out like he's not talking to her right then. We just went over a phone call yesterday, right? Where Dawn talked a lot. Dawn had a lot to say in that phone call. I have other phone calls also. But okay, let's move on here. Lippy girl, you're so funny. I kept hearing the trains. When I first started playing this, I kept hearing the trains, and I thought they were trains from here. I have trains all the time coming through here. So with me, you either get the racetrack or you get the trains. Two options. That's it.
No, stay here.
Why? Stay here. The dog.
Huh? Let's not forget before the sun even.
You got the dog. So you already had the dog? You already had the dog before you talked to Fred? Or was that a different dog? Was that a different dog? Or are you telling your daughter to watch the pup that you got? Huh? I don't know.
Said on that first day, she put out the call. If anyone local, anyone close to the case wanted to meet her or be interviewed, she was ready.
Hey.
The family trip vanished.
Who hooked her up with Fred Hill? Right? I saw the BS, the one who hides behind the church. Avatar did late night. Unbelievable, those poor children. They've all ruined her chance of justice. Also, with all this social media confusion. It is very sad, Zena. Very, very sad. But I think people are getting to the point where for years, some of us have tried to let people know that, I encourage new people every day to look into the Summer Wells case. But please realize bullshit and things that are important, because there's a big difference here. A big difference here.
Stay in the car. Hi, puppers. How are you? Are you the one that drove by me the other day while I was staying outside? Okay.
Oh, there she goes. Are you the one that drove by me the other day when I was standing outside? Standing outside of where? The one who hides behind the church has reached a very low, new low, if that's possible. Am I missing who you guys are? Oh, I get it. Okay, I know who you're talking about now. Thank you, Zena. Thank you. I appreciate that. That means a lot. I mean, and I have to be honest, I don't talk about the one that hides behind the church icon over here. I never have. I have never spent my time watching her. But that's just me. Okay. That is just me. I know a lot of people do like watching her. A lot of people have liked stuff that she has put out about the Summer Wells case. But I just want to remind people, I believe there's a difference between putting out content about the Summer Wells case and putting out drama. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? You and Sarah are going to cover it tomorrow. I don't know what she did. I mean, kind of, what hasn't she done, right? That person seems to have gotten herself in a space where she knows a lot of people from that area. Now, if you go back and look at a lot of interviews, do you know what these people say? They say that things that they heard on her channel. They were following her. Who introduced them to that creator, right? Who introduced them to that creator? Right?
Are you by chance Fred?
Yeah.
Okay. Just the man I've been wanting to see. So Don Wells talks really highly of you, doesn't he? He likes to throw you under the bus, doesn't he?
Right off the rip.
She immediately tells, hang on. Oh, excuse me, I had to cough. She immediately hooks into Fred saying, Don Wells don't like you. Why is he throwing you under the bus? Right?
Nobody, I've been trying to get a hold of you. Everybody wants to hear.
She's been trying to get a hold of him. You guys believe that? Fred just happens to come to the road. Hey, lady, I'm over here. I'm the guy you've been trying to get a hold of because Don Wells doesn't like me. And Don Wells has been talking bad about me. Right? No, and he shot a guy in the neck. Yes, he did do that, Zena. That's not even all of it. Do you guys not understand? When they met each other, he was still doing substances. At this time, he was still doing substances. If you go back and look at these guys who have come out and they're like, I'm clean. I'm clean. Listen to how long they say that they've been clean, right? They're good guys now because they're clean, right? For real. Also, somewhere you can hear Ziggy say, well, I didn't know that he had property down the road. I didn't know he had nicer property down the road, right? I did not know that. Zena, don't take it personal, babe. Oh, no, we're fine because I'm not monetized. Hey, Gab. So, what was I saying? Ugh, I forget everything. I forget everything. So, this dude not only is a chef, well put, Zena, but he is still doing his little substances, right? Also, we talk about pew-pewing in the freaking neck, right? He also followed Cotton Simpson, who had some money on him. Cotton allegedly said, hey, I'm kind of worried. I've got all this money. Somebody may thieve it from me or whatever. So him and his friend follow Cotton without letting Cotton know that they followed him. How does that make sense? So Remain Calm being a trickster and a psycho bitch, the way that I feel about that was maybe Cotton might have been a little concerned that a couple people in his immediate area, with him having that large amount of money, was where his concern was. Does that make sense? Y'all know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Formula.
Get down, Ziggy.
What?
Get to the house. Go on.
What
Go on.
your?
Go. Go. She don't follow you.
Yeah, I don't care. It's okay. Hey, sorry. I wanted to talk to you that time. You passed me. I was too scared to talk.
I ain't meant like it like that though.
No. So you're the infamous Fred. That.
Yeah.
So why does Don have such a problem with?
Infamous Fred. You're the infamous Fred.
I had no idea. Because I know a lot, I guess.
Okay.
Because you know a lot. Don has a problem with you because you know a lot. I'm not a Don Wells fan, but I think Don had a problem with you because you did know a lot. But it wasn't a lot of anything that possibly could have helped Summer. It was you having the knowledge of every substance addict in the whole area. You obviously knew a lot of them on a first-hand basis. You even talked about the day Summer went missing that you were doing a deal. Now, you threw two names out there that didn't show up to this trap house that they were supposed to have showed up to, right? But you showed up, Fred. So you know what that says to me? That as of June 15th, 2021, you, sir, were still dealing substances. Okay? You were still dealing substances. That's what it says to me.
Yeah. So what do you know?
She didn't drive down Ben Hill Road for small talk. She came looking for someone who knew something, and he made sure she found it. The introduction is familiar. What matters is what followed. Because the claims didn't just fill airtime. They shaped the narrative for years.
They did.
And that's really why we're here. The hunt for stories had begun. So, let's just jump right in, shall we?
Get it.
Buckle up. Because this is one train that's still veering off the tracks daily.
TBI that Don had been here that day.
Yeah. I mean, the cadaver dog, they was here when talking to me and they come up the road and he was hitting at the bridge.
Okay, I am going to slow this down. He starts talking about cadaver dogs. He does. Make sure that's turned down a little bit. Let's hear what he says.
The narrative for years. And that's really why we're here. The hunt for stories had begun. So, let's just jump right in, shall we? Buckle up. Because this is one train that's still veering off the tracks daily.
TBI that I had been here that day.
Yeah. I mean, the cadaver dog, they was here when talking to me, and they come up the road, and he was hitting by the bridge right there hard. They come up here.
They were hitting by the bridge really hard. Okay, that's what he's saying. The cadaver dogs were hitting at the bridge really hard. But I have a question. Because didn't he have to be basically let in the area to go to his home? But yet, okay, they were hitting by the bridge out there hard.
At the road, and when I was that far as easy to top, and was hitting on it. They never even opened the door.
He talks about a porch.
There ain't nothing in it. I looked, but I found some bones earlier today.
There were a couple.
That is such bullshit. He goes straight into, I found some bones earlier today. Now, I've always said this. I could be wrong. I don't believe at this point that Fred and Don Wells were not having a, you can say, friendly relationship, speaking relationship, however you want to say it. I truly believe that these people all were still communicating with each other. Okay? We don't know what Chad did. We don't know what time Chad left. We don't know what Chad has said to law enforcement. One thing that the woman that Ryan was interviewing said, Chad actually had been talked to by law enforcement numerous times. That is what she said. We really don't know what Chad has said because Chad has never came out and given an interview. Am I right about that? Am I wrong about that? I don't remember ever hearing Chad Arnold come out and speak with anyone on social media. Hey, Sage. About 40 minutes ago, but that's up to you, honey. That's up to you. He hasn't. Blythe said he hasn't. So everything that we've heard about Chad has came from Fred. In my opinion, anyway. And like I said, the individual who talked with Ryan absolutely said law enforcement spoke with Chad numerous times. I do not believe that this woman is making stuff up. I really don't. If I did, you guys would know it. You guys would know it. Candace and Glenda. What about Candace and Glenda? And his ex-old lady. Fred's ex. Oh, Laura. Look, I'm just going to say this. Some people may not like me saying this. I have nothing against Laura. You know, I heard that she's on a sobriety journey or whatever. When people were getting interviews with these individuals, they were in the throes of addiction. They were in a messy place. Okay? And they're not dumb. They knew that they had to have a conversation that was going to make them some money. Was going to make them some money. Okay? How many freaking times have we heard people come out here? Andy Bernard did it. Marlena did it. Many people were coming. Their environment, they live in a very poor environment. A lot of them are addicts, and they needed money. They needed money. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But here's Fred finding these bones, right? And sorry, my opinion, I believe Don Wells knew all about the bones. All about the bones.
I ain't talking about it.
You don't where they at?
The next driveway down. It looks like they took in, there's a tire been burnt, and then there's some bones laying around there, smaller bones.
Is it close, like where we can walk through it?
Yeah.
Where you can show me?
This next driveway down.
Will you show me? Or,
Yeah.
okay.
I mean, I don't know what it is. It could be animal or whatever, but it's,
What did you say? You said
like
it's
shoulder blade
bones?
bones and rib bones.
It can be animal or whatever. This is what's fucked up. Fred has making everybody believe that he was the go-to guy for law enforcement, right? Especially after Summer went missing. Hey, come and record this for us. Do this, do that for us, right? Why would Fred say, I found some bones? Hey, I'll show you them. I'll take you where they're at. We'll get a good look at it. He never called law enforcement his fucking self. I found that to be a problem with a lot of these people. They didn't call law enforcement themselves at all. And for years, I have sat back and watched locals and some YouTube creators try to push specific narratives. We've talked about this before. It is very easy when you are a social media creator to entice your subs, your members, your mods into doing something that you do not want to do yourself. Y'all get what I'm saying? Right? Fred knew that those bones were animal bones. He knew it. He flippin' knew it. Okay, you guys, give me 1 second, please. Just 1 second. Okay, thank you guys. I'm back. Remember when many created for telling us not to report things to LE. Well, I would think so, little meat. Right? Right? Why wouldn't have? And if you're not subbed up, please consider subbing up, you guys. That would mean a lot to me. That'd keep me up there. Like I said, I'm not monetized any longer. If you would like to support the channel, on the banner is my Cash App and my Venmo. That's probably the only time you'll hear that in this live. I'm not a good pimper of myself out. Okay, but please sub up. Please, please, please. Summer or a suspect, Fred will say, I told you so. Well, yeah, they've named everybody. They have named everybody. But Ziggy has this relationship with Don Wells, right? They're talking on the phone a lot. They're just really in tune with each other. Past addictions. I mean, weird shit, right? And then she comes in contact with Fred. Oh, thank you, Sadiat. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. Then here comes Fred, right? Yeah, law enforcement said that too, Flies. You're absolutely right. It got to be a lot for law enforcement. They were running around everywhere.
Stuff like that bone. He just don't look right to me. But there's no skull.
So it's way down there.
He makes driveway.
How far is that?
It doesn't look right to him, but he's not going to call law enforcement, right?
About
Okay, well, we'll go over there in a
500
second.
feet or something other down the road.
Wow,
On
so
this hall.
it's probably an animal, right? Or it could be.
It could be, but
It could,
I
yeah.
don't know. I feel like it
Well,
ain't,
I'll look. I'll check it. Yeah, we'll check it out.
Okay.
If I feel like it's like, I'll call if you're afraid to.
Yeah, I will call and talk to him about it. I just got home while ago. That's where I was at when you were telling me. I was getting a trailer and stuff. I was about to,
He was so worried about those bones that he didn't do anything about it. Hell, he's seen the bones and he goes and runs errands for the rest of the day, right?
trailer tile cars and stuff on.
Before any contact with authorities was made, the allegation had already been shared. The possibility of human remains, possibly a child, was discussed publicly, and only after that came the call. Claim number 1, the bones.
Here we go.
Fred said.
Obviously, I'm Benhill 110. I was in that area. I have a YouTube channel. I'm down here for
This is what gets me. And I say this to every freaking creator out there. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you like Remain Calm or not. This is my opinion, and I've always said this. If you gave a fuck about a missing 5-year-old girl and you thought that you had information that could help find her or find out what happened to her, the last thing that you should do, in my opinion, is immediately tell them you are a YouTube creator. That always told me that, yeah, I'm saying it. Hey, let me tell you guys something, and this is the truth. And you may not believe this, but this is the truth. I have been pretty much blacklisted by the Summer Wells so-called community on YouTube. It's true. It is true. people who have been with me for years know that it's fucking true. And let me tell you why. Because I didn't want to play the drama bullshit game. I didn't want to play the dumb fucking bullshit drama game. Right? Don't ever come over and fucking tell me, oh yeah, this person knows a lot about Summer's case. No, they only know about the drama of it. The drama of it. So guess what, y'all? They may have taken my monetization, but I'm still here, bitches. I'm still here. I ain't going nowhere. Nah, nana, nana. Nana, nana, boo, boo. Right? For real. They didn't like me calling them out. They never did. And I'm good with that. I don't give a fuck. I don't. Yes, I have that in my notes. Plain dirty. If you don't want to do something, don't lean on others to do your bidding. Absolutely, Chris. But that's what they always did. And why? Why? Why was it so important that so many locals, creators on YouTube, and don't get it twisted. All these fucking people were all communicating with each other. Okay? Locals and creators, they were all communicating with each other. Some more than others. Like I said, the church icon lady, how the fuck did she get to know so many of those people? Right? Right? She allegedly even called fucking Frank Light's dad or some shit. Right? That's what she said anyway. I don't know if it's true because Frank's sister says she did not speak to her daddy. Right? For sure. Why would these people? Well, I mean, money's one reason, but why did they not care that they were putting out and saying things that were causing all these individuals to bog down Hawkins County, TBI, even FBI, with these wild ass theories, speculation, whatever you want to call them, right? For sure.
I was talking to Fred Hill, who lives down the road, and he told me he found bones. So I'm calling because I want to just make sure that it gets reported. He took me and showed me where they are.
Why did you have to put this out on YouTube? Why was that? Well, I know why. I know why. Yeah, H has been here for the ride. He has been here for the long haul.
He said it's about, I think it's about 210 Ben Hill Road. And he mentioned the name Dave Bays. Dave Bays, I guess it's his property. I don't know. It's on Ben Hill Road, about up the driveway, about 50 or
so. I'm sure Mr. Bays also knew about the bones. They were at the end of his driveway, right? Now, listen, people. People do, a lot of times, they will incinerate animal bones, right? For sure. They absolutely will.
60 feet. It's Dave Bays. I think he was guessing the area, or it's the next, like if you're looking at where, gosh, I don't know the address.
What do you mean he was guessing? What do you mean he was guessing? Fred knows the exact location of every little shed, every barn. Fred knew all of that stuff. Okay? People have said many times, and I'll say alleged, I don't know if it's true. I mean, it sounds true to me, in my opinion. Fred was a peeping Tom. Fred and his sidekick would go around thieving off of people. Okay? That's what it said in the interview. Would thieve off of freaking people.
If you're looking at where Fred Hill lives, it's the next road or next driveway.
How in the fuck are you on the phone with law enforcement and you're describing to them I get so frustrated. So, hey, you know where Fred lives, right? It's the next road.
West of that one. And he told me it's Dave Bay's property, and that you guys would know who that is. And I asked him, are you going to call this in? And he said he was going to, but I wanted to just make sure. I saw it. It did look like small bones. It could be an animal, obviously.
I'm just going to say this. People can get fucking pissed off at me if they want to. There's no way in hell that anybody is going to take a cadaver of a human being, I'll say it like that, and fucking burn it at the end of somebody's motherfucking driveway. Okay? There's no way in hell. I mean, stupid criminal? Maybe. Common sense would have told me that Fred, Don, and many others were getting together, talking about these YouTubers who are coming to Beach Creek and having a good laugh at their expense, right? He swatted his neighbor using Ziggy. Ugh.
There's a fire pit. There's a fire area. Somebody had a fire around the area. It's like they burned an animal or something. Could be a person. That's why.
Fucking Ziggy. How many days after you saw the bones did you wait to call? You don't hesitate to call him now with Fred there. Why didn't you call him right away? Why didn't you go knocking on Mr. What's his name? David Bays? Hello, sir. I noticed you got some bones burning at the end of your driveway. Are those animal bones? I mean, yeah, there's a tire down there, you know. For real. Usually get to the critters before they do. She did. She knew it.
You know, those summer wells missing. When he showed me that, he took me to right where the area of bones. I didn't have any.
How the fuck are you comfortable getting out of a vehicle, leaving your daughter in the fucking vehicle, and this substance dealer, manufacturer, addict takes you down the road to show you bones that could possibly be from a missing child? You were okay with that? Or were you more okay with it because people were putting money in your pocket. It's just a fucking question. It's just a question. Right? Because she already met him before. I don't know. A bloated cow expand, blow up, buzzards, vermin start eating. This gets me too. I don't care what anybody says. You all said it. I didn't. A lot of y'all said this shit. Remain Calm didn't. Who the fuck cries about a child missing? Oh my gosh, I was the neighbor. She's missing. We got to find her. And you and your old fucking man that you say has tried to unalive you 20 fucking times, get in a fucking car and drive out to where there's buzzards flying around because you recognize the area, right? You knew where the buzzards were flying around. Y'all get there, right? You're not worried about him hurting you. You're not worried about him unaliving you at this point, right? Because you're in a vehicle with him. You go out there and you all play rock, fucking, paper, scissors to see who's going to go out and get out of the freaking car and see what is unalive out there. Who the fuck does that? You said it, ma'am. I didn't fucking say it. You said it. I'm sorry. I'll never forget that. Wasn't crying then. Believe me, I don't care who likes me and who don't. For real. Oh, yeah, they go through that, Chris. That is a phase, right? That's what I said, CM. Where was she standing? At the bottom of 110 Ben Hill Road? Right?
Self-service out there. What was your name? My name is Adrian. Okay, I'm going to have an officer give you a call. Okay. Yeah, 317. Yes, sir.
Oh, well. Benny's already freaking doxed me anyways.
It may not show up on your ID.
Okay.
It could be a strange number or maybe a blocked restricted number. I'm not sure how you're going to that.
Okay. Sorry, I'm not describing it very well. I'm not from here. So, but I told him, well, I'll talk to the officer.
Did you call the PDF number?
I did not. I called, I looked at the Hawkins County or Rogersville Police, and then they gave me this phone number. I didn't tell them what I was calling about, though, but I said, are you over above it? They Hill Road.
If you call the PDF on, they're the ones that take over the investigation.
Okay.
You can give them a call and tell them if you have any information on them.
Okay, all right. All right.
Do you hear what they just said? At this point, they're saying, call TBI.
So then I have my recording with obviously TBI.
I need to speak to somebody about a tip. I'm actually from a YouTube channel and the phone.
There she goes again. First thing she does when she calls YouTube, or I'm sorry, TBI, I have a YouTube channel. She ain't the only fucking one I heard say that. All right. There were other creators who actually called law enforcement and talked about another creator and was like, oh, you need to watch her channel too. I'm like, what the fuck? Send them a card. Mail them a card with your YouTube channel on it. Why would you call any law enforcement agency to speak on fucking any crime? To speak on freaking anything? And make sure you tell them you're a YouTuber. And guess what, y'all? Law enforcement, they don't like YouTubers. I wonder why. Y'all ruined it. She cried and was sorry. She's sorry, so sorry.
And he was talking to me and he told me.
And I'm going to say this too, whether people believe it or not. Lippy, I'm sorry I keep stopping your video. I am enjoying it. It's bringing things to my mind, girl. Oh, what was I going to say? I forgot. It will come back to me, I promise.
He found bones. And I asked him what he showed me because he said just over the next drive. And I asked him to show me, and I asked him if he called you guys. He said not yet, he's going to. I want to call just to make sure because I told him I was going to. I don't know the exact address, but Red Hill, like when you're looking at his property, it's the next driveway to the left of him. And he told me it was the property of a guy named Dave Bays. And I went up there, up the driveway. I drove over the next driveway and he walked over and I parked my car and he said about 50 or 60 feet up the drive. I went up there and he showed me a burn pile. Somebody had been burning something and there was bones like scattered everywhere. It could be an animal, more than likely probably it looked like small like person bones, but you could see the teeth, there's teeth. And I couldn't.
Let me say this. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you find bones and you find teeth, I can guarantee you those teeth did not look like a child's teeth. I'm just saying. And this always got me too. So many people were getting lost in this drama fest of, oh my gosh, the Wells' septic system was messed up or whatever. That is a typical thing in those areas, you guys. That is something that freaking happens. Now, also, whether you would want to think so or not, that also happens in the city. People's septic systems get fucked up. They do not want to put toilet paper and things into the toilet because all it's going to do is cause the septic line that they have hooked up to fucking just keep getting stopped up. I'm just saying. So that when I heard that didn't mean shit to me. That did not, I didn't pay any attention to it. Okay? I didn't. But other people, like I said, I'm not a Dawn and Candace fan, but people really said a lot of shit about them, because of that. Right? That's what I said, Flies. That's what I said. No one is going to burn remains at the end of their fucking driveway, nor are they going to allow somebody to burn somebody's remains at the end of their fucking driveway.
Hell, for sure. So yeah, there's tons of bones over there. I just wanted to report it just in case, you know what I mean? Yes, ma'am. Did you get any recordings of this when you went out there? With Red Hill? Yeah, I did. My phone died.
My thing is, if she had been conversing with Don Wells, right? Yeah, you're right, Sadie. That shit stinks, right? So, I forgot what I was going to say. Okay.
My phone died. Of course, he was talking about it. I'll have to, I can send you the recording I have. I don't know what's on it. I would listen. I was recording our conversation, and then, of course, the recording, or my phone died, and I didn't have any way to charge it.
Oh. There are many carcasses of animals that get burnt in those areas, right? I mean, Jody even talked about, and they do this in those areas. They will take an animal that has been unalived, roadkill, whatever. They have these bone boxes, and they will throw the carcass into this bone box, right? And let nature take its course. Some people clean these bones and sell them to make a profit. That is true. And let me tell you guys something. I do not give a shit about people using old whiskey barrels to collect water. I would love to have a couple whiskey barrels to collect rainwater. I would love that. I think that would be fucking cool as shit. Okay? But that became a big thing, right? Oh my God. Fred's like, they got them whiskey barrels up there collecting water up there. Really? If it's not a whiskey barrel, then they have the big plastic drums that they collected in, right?
So I don't know if it might be on there, but it might be on there when you mentioned it.
Oh, her gas box.
So he said he was going to be calling also. And when did this occur? Was it today? Yeah, it was today. It just started. It was about 7 p.m. 7 p.m. And I wanted to get to an area where I had service. I just got back to my Airbnb and I called the police first, and they told me I should call you guys. So here. So Fred Hill might be calling, but I can send you that recording. I'm afraid I hope it's not too. What it is a video file.
Okay, guys, that call, it goes on for a few more minutes.
The call ended, but the impact didn't. The image had already been shown, and the case had already been named.
Yep.
Speculation moved quickly, and the community began to divide.
Yep.
Some viewers argued it was wrong, that possible human remains should never be live-streamed. Others defended it as awareness, as transparency.
Let me tell you guys something. This is kind of going off kilter here. There was a YouTuber, very famous YouTuber. Okay. It was one of the, damn it. It was one of the Paul brothers. I believe it was, let's see, there's Logan and, oh gosh, I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. Okay. They ended up at the, in a country where they have something called the Take Your Own Life Forest. Okay. I'm not going to say the word, right? He actually had live streamed someone from that forest who had taken their own life. The backlash of that was immediate. Immediate. Okay. I do not believe that those should have been put out on YouTube at all. Let me tell you why. It would have been a little different to me if they would have been put out and the conversation was, these are animal bones, no doubt about it. They are the carcass of a deer, raccoon, whatever, right? These are not human bones. I could have been a little bit more, maybe given a little more leeway in my mind about it, right? But that's not what happened. That is not what freaking happened. Okay? And I will always question the morality of it. And that's just me, though, you guys. That's just me. Those boxes are really Yeah, many folks put that in there for sure. Yeah, you can tell the difference. You can tell the difference. No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
As part of the process. But the majority just used the "oh" that poor Ziggy didn't know any better.
Yeah.
The chat reflected both sides.
Yes, they did.
Supporters doubled down while critics were pushed back, because on YouTube, neutrality rarely lasts. Sooner or later, you're expected to choose a side.
Yep.
But beneath the debate was a heavier question. If those remains had belonged to a missing child, what would that moment have meant?
That's right.
The image stayed on screen for hours, and by the next day, the tone had shifted.
Yep.
What began as urgency moved into defensiveness. What started as uncertainty became explanation.
Oh, I did not want to wake up and see what I woke up to because I knew it was going to happen.
I will say this because I'm remain calm. We didn't have any sandpaper left over here, Ziggy, or we might have gave you a little bit. You should have put your ass in a cry closet. What you should have done. You should have been like, okay, my people, I'm going to put myself in the cry closet. Put me in the cry closet. For sure. For sure, for sure.
And I don't give a fuck what you think says about me crying now or whatever. Or saying it's fake.
You got me crying.
Does this look fake? I did not want to wake up. I was slept till like 2 because I knew I would be dealing with this. And then just on top of everything, I have Tiffany taking the opportunity.
Now wait, Ziggy. You said you didn't want to wake up to it. That you woke up to it. But then you're like, I wanted to stay in bed because of it. I didn't want to wake up because of it. That makes no sense. Sorry, it doesn't. Sandpaper don't soak up fake tears. You're absolutely right, Flies. She does that fake cry now.
To make money off of my mistake.
Make money off of my mistake. Who is? She said, I did not want to wake up. That makes no sense. How could you already know that people were coming at you if you were still asleep? Yeah, that's true, Flies. That's so funny. I'm not going to show it, but yeah, Fly said I made her cry. I was like, I did not. She was like, I got receipts. She sent me a picture. That was funny. She sent me a picture with a crying face. I still got that picture, girl. One of my faves. One of my favorites. So funny.
I'm like 2 because I knew I would be dealing with this. And then just on top of everything,
She already knew she was going to be dealing with the shit. Right? She already knew what she was going to be dealing with.
Tiffany taking the opportunity to make money off of my mistake.
Tiffany. Did you do that, Tiff? You go, girl. You go, Tiffany.
Then, like the fucking hypocrite piece of shit she is, she really
Damn.
shows the pictures.
Now they're friends. Look. This is a great example. You guys know I love to give examples, okay? Her and Tiffany, I think, are still friends now. just in 2022, she was calling her names. For real. You don't think so, TT? I don't know. Hey, TT. People feel bad for her. You know, people are good-hearted people. There are a lot of good-hearted people in this world. There is. Oh, shit, I dropped my phone. Oh. There are good-hearted people that, you know, she'll take advantage of. Off the fake, oh my God moments. Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. Oh my God. For real. Oh, thank you for saying that's in your opinion, TT. That means a lot to me. Because TT said that this is her opinion. I'm going to read it. They're idiots. There, I'm even going to tag it. They're idiots, in my opinion. Thank you for that. For real.
Tell me how that is any different.
What do you
Siri.
mean?
You didn't play from day one, you have your heart in the right place. Lynn, I shouldn't have showed those bones.
She said she shouldn't have shown the bones. She said she was sorry, and then came the but. In moments like that, accountability asks for stillness. Instead, the focus shifted. After the bones, another claim followed. Fred said he saw Andy on the road. He didn't describe it as a rumor. He described it as something he personally witnessed.
Yes, he did.
Claim number 2 didn't come with bones, photos, or evidence.
And this is the thing, okay? I know, Lippy, I'm so sorry. I keep stopping Lippy because I just got too much freaking say. Hashtag love Lippy. I love Lippy, you guys. This is the thing. Fred is adamant, right? Adamant that Andy was on the road that day. Now, okay, we're going to go back to a little tidbit of information that, you know, of course, has came our way over the years. Pruitt says to Ziggy that Andy had been in the area prior. I'll have to listen to that again. I think Lippy shows it on here. I think Lippy shows it on here. Law enforcement continuously has let everyone know that Fred Hill doesn't tell the truth. Okay? It means I ain't really sorry, and here's why. Oh my God. That is so funny.
Came as a phrase repeated so often it began to sound like fact. Fred said Andy was on the road.
Fred said.
And like Andy,
Well, Army vet, being over here and hanging out while we're talking about it, I hope I can ground guide you into I will be on point, Army vet. I'm gonna ground guide you through the bullshit. Okay? Through the bullshit. That is my job. That is my job, Army vet. Walk you guys through the bullshit. I refuse to let my friends step in a pile of caca. It ain't gonna happen on my watch. I can tell you that right now. So, yeah, we have had different individuals specify that Andy was at work that day. Okay? Now, we don't know when Andy went to lunch that day. Could Andy have booked from his job, came home for lunch for something? I don't know. it doesn't seem like that's the case. But yes, absolutely. They say Andy was at work that day, but he was in the area prior. Now, prior to me was a very interesting word. What do you mean prior? He lived in that area. Of course he had been in the area prior, right? So that word was a little weird to me.
He's ain't in here that day.
I want to talk to him. Can you
And he's like, Andy's at work. He ain't. So he's in here 3 o'clock.
So
Because I had to pull over and let him by. And that day I pulled over the truck. At Jody's mom's.
Why does Fred laugh? You guys hear him laughing, right? When he's saying this shit to Ziggy, he's laughing. Right?
And like
Listen.
he was ain't in here that day.
I want to talk to him. Can you
And he's like, Andy's at work. He ain't. So he's in here 3 o'clock. Because I had to pull over and let him by.
So at 3 o'clock, you were on the fucking road, Fred, because you had to pull over and let Andy by, is what you're saying. Prior mean on his way to work? Absolutely. Absolutely, it could mean that.
And that day I pulled over the truck. At Jody's mom's. See, that's why they don't like me.
Fred said that's why they don't like him, because he knows the truth. And from the very beginning, criticism became part of the story.
I do have to sit and wonder if Fred does know some factual information, and everything that he's done up to this point is to try to point the fingers at everyone except for himself, right? Yeah, that laugh is just like over the freaking top, right? Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's like a meth laugh, right? You know what, Tara? They're supposed to be married. I do not know if they're legally married or what, right? Hey, Danny, a crazy tweaker nervous tick. Yeah.
If someone pushed back, it wasn't disagreement. It was proof he was right.
Yeah, see, about 3 o'clock at night, I had a car. I had a bunch of cars here at that time. I mean, long road, loading myself on trailers, and I was having to park in the road.
I'm going to slow this down. This is Fred's first story. Fred's first story. I'm going to slow it down a little bit.
Why they don't like him, because he knows the truth. And from the very beginning, criticism became part of the story.
And let me say this. Who, now, messed up mind, right? Messed up people, messed up minds. Fred allows Ziggy to send a tip to TBI, if I remember correctly. In that tip, it states that Don Wells wanted him to go to some pretty high up substance dealers and have conversations with them about not coming and harming any of Don's boys, but states in that, and I can find it and show it to you, states in that Don never mentioned that, you know, these dealers had taken Summer, but said Don wanted him to go and talk to these high-level dealers, right? He lets her put that in a tip to law enforcement. So basically, what did that tell Remain Calm? That Fred either in his messed up mind believed that he was someone that could play a mediator, right, with these individuals, right? Hey, Trisha, right? Fred was the connection between who, Danny? My psychic powers are not working today, lady. Between who?
If someone pushed back, it wasn't disagreement. It was proof he was right.
Well, see, about 3 o'clock at night, I had a car. I had a bunch of cars here at that time. I mean, long road loading them and stuff on trailers and stuff, and I was having to park in the road to load them, and I'd have to move and let people by.
So he's saying right now that he had many vehicles that he was loading up that day.
One truck come in, and I can't place what color it is or nothing. I mean, I remember a truck.
He can't place what color it is or nothing. All he can place is a truck. Now, later on, years later, right? He remembers it's a blue truck. It's even got tinted windows. He couldn't see who was in the truck because it had tinted windows, right? Well, I can help you out with that, Army vet. I can really help you out with that. I can absolutely. That's my forte, darling. Well, let me put it like this. Some people may agree with me. Some people may not agree with me. The data that I have is all, I don't like the hearsay. I don't like the drama. I don't like the lies. Now, we do talk about, theories, opinions. If we speculate something, we will say it's a speculation. We really try over here to make sure that we put out more factual things than not. A problem with Summer's case is they all lie. They all lie. All of them lie. They do. Way too many grifters. Yeah. That's how the misinformation was so, so out there. A lot of times, even with some of the initial players, we seen Allie do it. Hunter did it. Jody did it. Whether she wants to say she did or not, she did. A lot of these people from the area, they were out to make $1. They were out to make money. Whether they needed new cabins, new campers, new vehicles, a place to stay. And so what they did was they all come out to social media. A creator pays them, drops their cash apps, et cetera, et cetera. The problem with that is the more that these interviews were taking place with the different creators, the more embellished these stories became, right? The more embellished these stories became. Now, I'll give an example. Allison, right? They talk about a pillow that was supposed to be in Grandma's vehicle. Now, if you look at the photo of Summer with the milk jugs, she doesn't seem to be sitting on a pillow. So everybody wanted to know where the pillow was. Nobody, I don't even think anybody still to this day really knows where the pillow is. The thing about it is, it was put out there, right? People made, oh my God, the pillow. Well, then it becomes that the pillow was used for Candace to take a pee on when she had to go to the bathroom. Okay. My thing is, who gave a fuck? Right? It was locals fighting with locals. It was locals fighting with people from other states. It became a lot of, let me say this, there were a couple locals that shared their truths on things that had happened to them from individuals in the area, things like that. That was even taken and was used against the person. And I always thought that was sad. That was just sad to me that, you know, anything like that would be used. But that had to do with something that had happened years before. So what we ended up getting a lot of was people coming out and telling us Dawn Wells and Candace Bly Wells' behaviors. Okay? Well, I never seen it, Danny. But this is my point on the freaking pillow. Why would they say they would have Summer sit on the pillow if she was wet? Grandma didn't like her seats wet. Now, they changed Summer's clothes before they put her back in the truck, leaving the watering hole. Somewhere her clothes were changed. She was put in her little sweatsuit that she had gotten to start school with. Where I questioned the pillow was, why did they not make Hunter sit on the pillow? He had been in the water. I'm sure his shorts had to have gotten a little bit wet. But he never spoke about sitting on that pillow, right? For sure.
And it was just odd that way he acted and stuff. And then Andy come in and followed it out. Like he would come in to get it, to take it wherever, you know. But I can't remember what kind of truck it is. Like my mind blank on that. But I remember.
You can't remember what truck or nothing it is, but you can remember the exact time that you're saying Andy came in. Now, this is the thing. Fred says he sees Andy. But then he also says that law enforcement showed him still photos of Andy's vehicle, saying that it was from that day. Now, let me ask you guys this. Law enforcement was all over Beach Creek. All over Beach Creek. Do you honestly believe that law enforcement chose, out of everyone in that holler, to ask Fred Hill to verify who people were? Right? who people were. I would think that Don Wells and Candace Blythewell's child is missing, that they wouldn't have been asked, who are these vehicles, right? Who are these people? Fred couldn't have been the only person that law enforcement could have went to ask about individuals' vehicles or who was driving them, right? Well, I don't think they can, May. I don't think they can. I do not believe that even at this time, law enforcement has an accurate timeline. I do not believe law enforcement, even at this time, has an accurate timeline on what transpired. Right? But that's just me. That's the way I feel.
I know everything, every vehicle is in here that day.
In this early clip, Fred says he had to move and unhook a trailer full of cars he was hauling so Andy could get
What
through.
he said.
But when it came to the vehicle at the center of the story, his memory was far less certain.
Yeah.
He said he couldn't really remember much about the truck.
Yeah, why not,
A
Fred?
detail worth remembering because it will come up again later.
So you think Andy's, okay, so is it Andy's mom or Jody Sue's mom that has a red Tacoma?
Jody Sue. Because she made, it ain't got the ladder exit on that.
But it did?
Yeah. Because she even said down there when on the third day, I just walked down there and was talking to them and Dawn and
now this is what I'm gonna say about the red truck stuff. Jody's mom has a truck, like, something along the lines of what law enforcement said they were looking for. Jody says she is not the one who reported the red truck to law enforcement. From what I remember, it was someone, it was a delivery driver who had spoke about, seeing the red truck in the area a couple times or whatever. What I think what got me was Jody describing an individual in a truck. She's seen him numerous times, could even say what he looked like, told a lot of description about this dude. Went into big time detail about it, right? And the thing that interested me about that was for her to have seen that vehicle as many times as she did, she would have been sitting down there waiting at the end of her driveway, right? For Andy or whoever, right? She would have had to have been down her freaking driveway to be close enough to even see tattoos and all that other stuff. We know on the 14th, law enforcement was called, right? Law enforcement was called about Jackie Dobbs, right? I think they know more, May, than what they're saying. Well, Army vet, if you have the power to do that, feel free to do so, sir. Just make sure you email me and let me know what they say. For sure. For sure, for sure. Okay.
But it did?
Yeah. Because she even said down there when on the third day I just walked down there and was talking to them and Don and was searching too for Summer certain places and stuff. I figured he may have put her or whatever, you know, because I way acted.
He's automatically going to. Okay.
He said he couldn't really remember much about the truck, a detail worth remembering because it will come up again later.
So you think Andy's, okay, so is it Andy's mom or Jody Sue's mom that has a red Tacoma?
Jody Sue. Because she even made, it ain't got the ladder exit on that.
But it did?
Yeah. Because she even said down there when on the third day I just walked down there and was talking to them and Don and was searching too for Summer certain places and stuff. I figured he may have put her or whatever, you know, because
He figured he may have put her, right? Yes, I do. Yes, that is true, Army Vet. That is exactly, yes, that was stated that they do feel like, you know, in more ways than one, it was very contaminated, very much so. I have heard that also, Army Vet. An example of that was they kept calling people uppers, right? The uppers say this, the uppers say that. Well, the private investigators, many individuals felt that especially the wife of these private investigators, Chris and Trudy, I believe their names were, that had gotten into a relationship with Candace, right? People did feel that. People felt like there was a lot of contamination, right? The 6:30 timestamp. Well, one thing that we need to remember, well, network traffic spike. AI analysts look for anonymous pings in Beach Creek between 3 and 6:30. Okay, this is the thing, right? Don Wells is the individual who first came out and put this timeline at 3 o'clock, right? Well, no, actually, Don put the timeline at 2:30-ish, I think. So Don says law enforcement took their phones and deleted everything from, I thought he said 3 o'clock on. It could have been, you know, it could have been 2:30. I don't remember, around the 3 o'clock. Now, Candace is at the horse pond. They're swimming. She drops Hunter off, right? And after she drops Hunter off is when that time frame starts, as Summer not being seen after that. Now, Lawson says that the boys said they seen her on her swing or whatever. Okay. I would have to go back and look. I haven't listened to that for a long time. But that's what he says, right? So, but I agree. I mean, I have to agree with you, Army Vet. I'm saying from whatever happened, if you believe Hunter, Summer was in that vehicle when Candace dropped him off. There's no reason not to believe him. She was seen on camera at a couple places. But from the time that he was dropped off at home, we don't know. We don't know. Right? I mean, we really don't. You also have this scream that Jody says she heard, right? Yeah, Lawson said that. Well, someone came out on YouTube and stated that Lawson said, you know, you all need to check early afternoon or whatever. I know a lot of people look at the milk jug video like it's the last video. I have never heard law enforcement come out and say that that was the last video at all. So, but absolutely no, I agree. I agree with that time frame for sure. We don't know. We don't know. And I know people, you know, say, oh, Candace left the hill. She was at the gas station or whatever. I've never had law enforcement come out and say that Candace was at the gas station. I'm not saying she wasn't at the gas station, but, you know, people tend to get their days mixed up really badly in that area, for sure.
Way you acted that night, she was already within here. Because I've done 165.
Well, and we know for a fact that, you know, Candace even said she went over to Fred's. That was way before 6:30. When law enforcement was called, the conversation was, I've been looking for her for about 10 minutes. I think, this is just my opinion, Candace lied about that because look, they're already dealing with CPS, right? There's no way at the beginning of all this that Candace would want CPS to know that she wasn't home. But then allegedly Grandma was there, but Grandma was asleep. Grandma, none of that makes any sense. That timeline makes no fucking sense whatsoever. Okay? They get home, they put groceries up. Candace does some washing, right? She's fixing them stuff to eat, she says. Then Grandma's out there and all of a sudden flowers need to be planted, right? But Grandma says, you know, Candace is like, I was outside putting my mom's brace on. It only took about 2 minutes. Within 2 minutes, Summer's gone. She can't find her anywhere. The boy said Summer went down in the basement. Grandma says, well, I didn't hear her. I didn't know Summer was missing until I heard Candace hollering for her. None of it makes any sense. Right? Because they are looking for a physical body in a landscape. Oh, absolutely. I could show you pictures of trees that have been cut out that they could put a child in. You're talking about areas where a lot of individuals are end of lifers. They have tunnels dug out. They have, all these underground bunkers. So yes, I mean, as a physicality, you're right. People are looking for remains, and right. I mean, for sure. Yes, Terry. So what? We already knew that. Candace said she went to Fred's. We already knew that. Candace said she went to Fred's. Okay, well, that's your opinion, Terry Southern Girl.
In 67, I had took a car down there after bomb driveway. Well, I was parked in the road that same day because I housed 67 miles that day. And Andy come in about 3.
Fred, you didn't set a fucking alarm that day. You don't even keep track of time. So he's saying here that Dawn was searching, right? That could be, Army Vet. That could be. I don't see law enforcement telling Dawn and Candace fucking anything. Right? What do you mean by local police? What do you mean by that? I mean, if you go back and look, there's a guy named Jeremy Dugan. And I've showed this many times on this channel. He spoke about what he said was that he had information that he believed to be true of a law enforcement's personal vehicle being in the Beach Creek area that day that Summer went missing. Now, I ain't going to sit here and say it's factual because I really don't know. I do know that I had to take into account that Jeremy Dugan was very upset with law enforcement at that time and had a problem with, we'll say one law enforcement official, okay, from that area. So I have to put that out there for sure. Yeah, I agree, Flies. Yeah, I don't think that they ever even call. Yeah. Yeah, they admit that they don't call. I mean, even Grandma was like, hey, if they need me or want to talk to me, they can call me. Is exactly what she said. Right?
and pay for summer certain places and stuff. I figured he may have put her or whatever, you know, because I
See, that's what gets me. Why the fuck, and I'm not a Don Wells fan, why the fuck would Don Wells go out looking for his daughter if you're saying here, Fred, that he put her there? I figured he may have put her in or whatever. Why? I mean, and like I said, I am not a Don Wells fan. Who the fuck would go out and look for their child in places where they had already put her, you're saying? So that's what's Fred's saying. That Don was out there looking, but he feels like the places that Don was looking was places that he already knew Summer was there because he put her there. Those are Fred's words, not mine. Right?
the way he acted that night, she was already within her. Because I'd done 165.
The way he acted that night, she was already unalive, right? Ooh, that's interesting. Pushing for nuclear DNA tests on items found in 25. That is interesting. Thanks for letting me know that, Army Bat. I remember Candace Stone on someone's panel when asked about Fred that he wasn't a good guy. Yeah, she said that. Yeah, she wouldn't answer. Yeah. Don't use it. I just found this and okay, I won't use it.
67, I had took a car down there after Bone driveway. Well, I was parked in the road that same day because I hauled 67 miles that day. And Andy come in.
I had to set my alarm off that day. Now, this is just factual. Every story that Fred has told has changed. Okay? He's added to it. He's, you know, it's bigger than what it really is.
About 3 or between 3 and 3:30 somewhere around there. And I had to pull out of the road letting by. But see that truck, I had to pull out of the road up here when I lose one when that truck went in. And then it come back out and he said up there, that red light pole is in the road. Instead of coming on down here and just, I pulled over there and stuff and he just kept sitting. So I backed up and went down here and turned at this steep curve and went on down to 166.
So Fred is saying that the guy just sat down there in his truck. So that says to me that the guy wasn't trying to hide, right? If there really was a truck, the guy wasn't trying to hide it. Hey, Sandy. I don't know, Sandy. Why? Let me ask you this, Sandy, for real. Why would it be okay that they take substances to Fred's house? Why would they think that that was okay? To take substances to Fred's house? That just makes no sense to me. It really doesn't. Now, if you do go back, Don Wells says that absolutely he was going to set Fred up. That's what he says. Absolutely, he was going to set Fred up. He was going to give Fred whatever kind of substances he wanted to see if Fred would tell him anything about possibly what could have happened to Summer. Don did say that. Right? Yeah. I've never heard of that, Flies, but the thing about it is, Sandy, listen to this. why would the thought even go through their mind that they need to get substances out of their house? So they're going to take it to the neighbors and hide it at the neighbors and possibly set the neighbor up because their daughter's missing and the popo's coming, right? Right, police are coming. But you don't think, listen to this, you don't think that Candace was in her mother's truck, Don Wells was in his vehicle, he goes down by the shed, whatever was in the shed, I don't know. We're talking about a holler. We're talking about an area where there's trap houses all over the fucking place. We're talking about an area where searchers even talked about, paraphernalia being there, right? Paraphernalia all over the fucking place. If they actually did want to take those substances to Fred's, then to me, that would have been them already knowing what the fuck happened to Summer, and they were trying to set Fred up in some type of way, right? For sure. Yeah. Oh, when that. Wait, y'all. I messed it.
Even to load that other vehicle, and that truck didn't come out for a long time. I didn't think about it at that time, see. But Andy, he come in.
That truck didn't come out for a long time, and Fred wasn't even thinking about it at the time, right? Absolutely, Anwar. Absolutely.
In that little silver car they had, and I pulled out of the road to let him by at about 23 and 3:30 because I ended up.
Now wait. So now between 2:30 and 3:30, that's an hour. That's an hour. So why would he sit there for an hour?
That wet light pole was in the road. Instead of coming on down here and just, I pulled over there and stuff, and he just kept sitting. So I backed up and went down here and turned at this steep curve and went on down to 167 to load that other vehicle. And that truck didn't come out for a long time.
So I wish we is that Doc from law enforcement, Army vet? Don said early on he thought it was customer of the dealer down the road. The FBI. Yeah, Don said he wanted to go over. Paul Hill. Yes, well, that is a relative of Fred's that lives on Van Hill Road, which is an area that was searched prior. It was searched. it was searched. His son came out and did an interview on a channel, which was really weird to me, but oh well.
I didn't think about it at that time, see. But Andy, he come in that little silver car they had, and I pulled out of the road to let him by at that between 3 and 3:30, because I ended up didn't get that lady in time to take it out.
You saw Andy at 3 to 3:30 that day? The day Summer went missing?
And then he come in and followed that truck back. That truck followed him back out.
Are you sure you saw
I'm
him?
100%.
He supposedly wasn't getting home till, Jody Sue said, like 5:30?
I don't see. He told me that he's at work and he's on video and stuff. He might be in at certain times, but I know he was in here at that time because he's on camera.
Oh, really?
There's a camera down the hallway that everybody's in here. So, I mean, the FBI's got all the pictures.
No, they called the police.
Me and them to talk at much. I don't talk to nobody in this hallway.
What started
Do you believe that? Right? I don't know where you're getting your information. I'd have to look. Okay, let me say this, Army Vet. Going back to the beginning, talking about the red truck. Okay, there were many, many, many people that were pulling up red trucks in the area. There were many, many people who owned red trucks in the area. Okay, Jody Sue's mom owned one. Robin Lane owned one. There was a young kid who owned one. There was one that was actually found burnt out. Okay, somebody had caught it on fire. So Robin Lane, this always got to me. Robin Lane, doing an interview with Chris McDonough, has these flyers. Summer Wells missing flyers. On those flyers it states that law enforcement is looking for this truck to ask the owner a few questions, right? The guy's not a suspect. Whoever owns it, we're not looking for these individuals as suspects of anything, right? They just wanted to have a conversation, is all law enforcement wanted to do. These flyers stacked on this table had a big X drawn through the picture of the truck. When the question was asked, why is the truck X'd out on all these flyers? She says that someone on Facebook told her they were not looking for that vehicle any longer. That woman had X'd out the information about the truck because somebody on Facebook told her. Yeah, I would have to see the documents too. Right? Well, I didn't see it that way, Little Meech, but they just, yep. Yeah, that was way off. That interview was way off. Yeah, definitely email me. Can somebody throw my email in chat, please? Well, whatever you're looking at, Army Vet, I could probably help make sense of it. For sure. I could sure try. Thank you, Poppy.
As a roadside claim did not fade, it became the framework. The sighting wasn't just discussed. It has been relentlessly pursued for years and still is to this day.
Yes.
But he saw Andy on the road. Him and Laura, they both saw Andy Bernard on the road. But that doesn't pin anything. That just says Andy was on the road from 3 to 3:30, and Andy's saying he's not. He still says Andy was on the road.
This is why, this is a question I have. If Fred's on the road within that time, doesn't he say something about passing Candace? She was coming in the holler. He said something about that, right? I'm trying to remember.
And he talked about it in the video or in the call today. He said he goes, well, he might be involved, but you know, they're looking into this other guy. Because most of us think about it, it's probably not just one person. Like,
wow.
He tried to tell Ryan that that incident was a different day.
Yeah, that's what he tried to tell him. But he was on camera and stuff, and I even had to, like I told Ryan, I had to confirm that it was Andy on that day on camera in the Kia to the TBI.
What do you mean you had to confirm?
Yeah.
Did they show you a picture?
Yes, they showed me pictures, and I had to confirm who they was.
But okay, how do you guys not know this? Maybe this is just me asking questions and thinking. What if Andy was there prior? And Andy told them why he was there prior, right? He tells them what time he was there. Do you guys really believe somebody dropped you off on Van Hill? What? Lots say they passed each other on Lone Star. Oh, Fred said now he's saying that he don't remember. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I think also that certain individuals from the area had probably been up for quite a few days. Okay. I never heard her say that, little Meech, but oh well. Oh well. I thought Marlena was around Baileyton or something, right? Oh, I don't know, T-Talk. All I know is they say he was at work. But no, this is what I want to say. If that was the case, he was there prior. You know, Andy was like, I was there. This is who was there. You can check it out or whatever. What makes anybody think that they have a right to any information that law enforcement has, period? Right? I'm just saying that. I don't fucking know. Marlena said, yeah, thank you. That's what I thought, that she wasn't there or something. I don't know.
Wow. So they showed you video?
They showed me pictures that the camera had took.
Wow.
And they was dated on that day.
Wow. And that was the same person. So some of them was was Andy from when you had seen him that day? That same during. Holy shit.
They even showed me a picture of Candace walking by that camera that day too.
Right now, Candace is walking by on camera. Keep that in your pocket, because later somehow she's not.
Right.
Wow. Okay.
Wow. Oh my God.
I don't know if I get in trouble for saying it or not, but but
I won't put it out unless, I mean, it sucks because it actually.
Well, I told Ryan that too.
Yep.
I told Ryan this earlier.
Yeah, but you didn't talk to him on the phone, did you?
No, I texted him. But another thing that I just thought about too, that one psychic, she got us something about a liquor bottle.
Uh-huh.
Here we go. So they were all watching YouTube. All of them. Even though Dinky Doo, Shipley and the other guy. They were all watching fucking YouTube. Right? I never heard that job say, Sandy, that Andy Bernard did not clock out that night from work. I've never heard that establishment say that. I've never heard anyone say that. I'm not going to say it's not true, but personally, I've never heard that be said. I'll tell you the story that I was like, are you for fucking real? The dude who showed up with a van full of young ladies, right? Full of young ladies. And the guy was like, hey, Andy, you want your pick? That whole place was, they tell all they watched YouTube made. Yeah, PG and Ziggy. Yeah. For sure. And they have, I mean, honestly, this is my opinion, as far as their channels go, they've both done pretty well with their channels. They have both done pretty well with their channels. For sure. I'm the only one. I do not think we have a right to information with regards to Summer. Why should they keep information when every other missing child case gets an outcome? We should know we love Summer. We do love Summer, May May. And I know you love her. I know you love her, May May. Right? Let me tell you guys something. It's just, Jody and Andy, even though they don't like each other or whatever, they have both came out and said that they do not believe that each other had anything to do with Summer going missing. For real. Okay, here's about the water barrels.
Okay, guys, listen up. Listen up, class.
Oh, shut up,
Hey,
Ziggy.
Ryan and Tim. What'd you miss? He was talking about how law enforcement had him. We're playing a call with me and Fred today. This is from today.
Fucking Fred tells her that while he's in jail, that law enforcement are hanging out. They're watching Ziggy's channel and they are enjoying listening to Fred and Ziggy's conversation. Now, I mean, I really don't think that it was enjoyable for law enforcement. I am sure that they had a lot to say, and it probably wasn't good. You know, they weren't hanging out going, hey, like, share, and subscribe, right? That's not what they were saying. The end result of Hawkins County, TBI, and FBI having a conversation with Fred Hill led to a verbal response of, why y'all believe in what Fred Hill says? That's what they said. And people still hung on his every word. They sure did. Let me tell you guys something. When the time comes and law enforcement has all their ducks in a row, they got their I's crossed, their T's dotted. That is what Bullhorn Betty says, okay? That's what she said. When that happens and they're ready to let the public know, the one thing I pray for is that there is no issues, that Summer will get justice, that there's no plea deals, no nothing. Nothing. Even if it was an accident, almost 5 years is a long time to cover up an accident. Because, you know, an accident is something that happens that, you know, someone's not expecting, right? But, an accident to me is someone having morals and having, you know, I mean, when you get a second, I have a question for anyone in here. If anyone remembers something that I remember hearing at the start of all this coming from Chase Online. What did you hear? That Glenda said that is just making at me. What do you mean, honey? I hope you don't mind me calling you honey. I don't know what you mean by that. I do not know what you mean by that. But, you know, I kind of tend to listen to law enforcement when they're like, why are y'all listening to a bunch of bullshit? How can anybody believe him? That says a lot. I'm just saying. Right? Yeah, you'd have to let me know what Chase said. So I don't know what Chase said. Well, that's the thing, Sage, because I truly do not believe that law enforcement is covering anything up. And the reason I say that is because if that's the case, we're talking all the way from Hawkins County to probably a few more other counties, TBI, FBI, right? Now, can I possibly see a bunch of fucking substance dealers and addicts and messed up people, messed up minds? Could I see that happening? Absolutely. Absolutely. I could see individuals covering up for each other, right? Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I will be looking at that, sir. Thank you. I appreciate that. I really do. Yeah. Thank you so much. I will look at that for real. Glenda, who I found really regretting ride to Indiana. Oh, you want to talk about the Indiana stuff? Okay, so Brandon, that did the interview with JLR, Brandon Clark, his father's name was Pete Clark. They initially not only lived in Tennessee, but they also lived here in Indiana. Okay. I never understood why Chase even mentioned that period, right? But that was something that was put out. I believe the first person that put that out was Tiffany. And Chase said it to her, and she put it out on YouTube. Now, because I'm blacklisted in the Summer Wells community, I got some things to say and some questions to ask, but they don't like me, the surveillance gap. I don't know why. It's really hurting my feelings. No, it's really not, but I really like these interviews. Well, I appreciate that. I'm sure Ryan appreciates that. Like I said, there's a couple interesting ones, right? Yeah. Tiffany Marie brought that out. Yeah, with Chase. Right. This is the thing. What a lot of these YouTubers, okay, and local people were doing was pushing just different narratives, right? Just people saying weird shit to other people to get them to repeat it to somebody else. Okay? Repeat it to somebody else. You have to I could go so deep on the Indiana stuff. I really could. Only because I think it was a YouTube fuck with people shit. I do. I do. But you have to remember also that Clyde Trent also had family in Indiana. Clyde Trent, Pete Clark, Brandon Clark, them individuals had ties to Indiana. I believe it's Peru, Indiana. Rapper. Real clap for Rapper. What is up with you? Always good to see you, Rapper. At the time Chase told Tiffany he was getting called out about the billboards and donations. I think he did it to distract. I appreciate that comment because that's kind of what I'm getting at. I mean, I can call the creators out. All right. I can go down the line and say, well, you know, this creator, da 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 da, and this local, da 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 da, and how it came to be mentioning the state of Indiana, to me at the time, did not have shit to do with Brandon Clark, his father, or anybody else having anything to do with Indiana. For real. I mean, it's kind of like pick a state, any state, right? You have to look at the people. You have to look at Chase. You have to understand all the players that he was dealing with, all the creators, you know, different individuals that he was canoodling with, right? And you have to, it's a lot, you guys. It's a lot. I mean, it is a lot. The old bait and switch. Well, I can tell y'all why I end up getting pissed off about all of it. I told him, I live in Indiana. If you have any information about a vehicle that you're trying to say was in the area, okay, yeah, they came out and tried to say that there was a vehicle with the Indiana license plate on it in the area that day. They did. And I'm like, give me the fucking license plate number. Give me the license plate number. If there's specific addresses that y'all may think that I need to go look, fucking tell me. I will go look. And you know what I got? Crickets. Crickets. And that made me feel, well, it really didn't make me feel any type of way, but I know what I pulled up. I know the information that I had from Clyde Trent, you know, Pete Clark, Brandon Clark, whatever. You know, yeah, there are people that have ties to Indiana. But I think a creator may have kind of just made that up a little bit. Probably because there was people visiting people, and you know, I think it was a fucking game. I think it was a fucking game, right? Oh, thanks, May May. I appreciate everybody listening. Hey, you guys, please sub up if you haven't. Please do that. Calling out the truth makes you the enemy and be nice. Well, I can be pretty harsh with people, but I truly believe that that whole Indiana thing, I mean, and people were going to kind of look in that direction anyway, right? Because, of course, Brandon gave JLR that interview, and his father had passed away from cancer. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Mr. Clark. This is the thing. Fred even tried to say that he saw Brandon Clark down by the mailboxes, his mailboxers standing out by his mailbox at like 8 o'clock in the morning. Not Fred's mailbox. I'm assuming, you know, Brandon's mom's property right there, right? Brandon's interview was after Chase's Indiana. Yep. Good. That's a very interesting question about Chase and how Chase got involved in the Summer Wells case. I'm assuming that, and this is just me thinking, okay? Because let's really think about it. So Benny knew him. Benny and Chase hung out and had dinner together at a Mexican restaurant. So Benny knew of him. It was stated somewhere that they had to do a lot of talking to Don Wells about Chase because there had been friction there prior, right? It wasn't going over too well. So I think yesterday in the conversation that I was reading, Don stated that he had private conversations with Chase before the TBI and law enforcement went to his house to question him. You guys, it was transcribed. So the conversation went exactly like I said. That's what Don said. So, I mean, he, I believe was, I don't know. I do know that somewhere there's a conversation where Chase says something about being stuck in a car with 5 women yelling at him at the same time, right? Well, let me tell you something. I've seen a lot of shit from a lot of people, right? I've seen a lot of shit from a lot of people. We Can Bring You Hope was also located in Indiana. Well, it's not look, KB, it's not, look, the problem is not the state, okay? The problem's not the state. So, for sure, it could have been any state, right? Yep, everybody is shady. Well, I think down the line, the majority of creators have gotten, have put out a lot of different information concerning Summer's case, whether it, you know, doing the research or, you know, Lippy putting the work in that she did on this. And Lippy, I'm gonna have to do a part 2. And I'm sorry I kept stopping it. And if you guys get a chance, if you want to watch more of it before I do part 2, I was going to cover the singer David case, but I can do that a different time. We can do part 2 tomorrow. Yeah, Don Candace Chase, etc. That's interesting, KB. Okay. Yeah, that is what it is, pulling the weeds. Yes, there somehow, I don't know how, if anybody knows, enlighten me on who actually brought 423 Chase in. Now, I know he buddied with Cam and Allie. I think that, gosh, what are their names? Yeah, there was quite a few creators who, you know, was using Chase for different things, for sure. Well, there's so much of what Penny had that's not out there anymore. I mean, I do have stuff transcribed or whatever, but there's so much in Summer's case as far as social media that is not accessible anymore. It's not accessible anymore. And that's why I'm glad that I transcribed things. Yes, I'm weird. I love to write. Cam and Allie said Chase brought them in. Right? Okay, but who was talking about the advocacy group? Who would have been talking about that for Chase to misunderstand? Who was he having a conversation with about that advocacy group that would have made him mistake what was said? Was that a 110 Ben Hill Road conversation or a conversation with someone else? It is all hearsay. Oh, I don't know. T-Talk. Yeah. Okay. But that was after Chase Flies. Crystal did. Well, that's in a lot of different places, the surveillance gap. Social media is, yes. You have to be very careful. And we don't know. We don't know. Yes, thank you, Test Tube Baby. Yes, I remember that. I absolutely do remember when he came to YouTube. Absolutely. I have not forgot that. And I'm glad other people haven't either. For sure. All right, you guys, I've been on here 3 hours. I am going to stop Lippy at, damn Lippy, I got through a half an hour. I'm sorry, Lippy. You guys definitely go over and show Lippy some love, for sure. Didn't know she was part of the billboards. I don't know. I don't remember. No, I don't remember her being in on the billboards. Yes, I've talked about that before. The recordings of the Victims Advocate Group and Don Wells. Yes, I've talked about that before, KB. We have talked about that. Was during the scam or right after that. Yeah, we talked about that. Yep, auctioning her shirt off. That's just weird. That is weird. Thank you, Karen, with the C. Thank you. What? Oh, you're Athena's community? Yeah, that's so sad. That is so sad. For sure. Well, I mean, it is, I don't know, you guys. But we're just going to keep talking about it. There's so much to talk about, but that's the thing about it. You have to, you got to kind of look at things different than trying to, just go with one narratives. We don't know what happened to her. She absolutely could have been taken, which obviously she was. They haven't found her. Okay. She wasn't kidnapped because there was no ransom, right? I guess you could be kidnapped without a ransom, but no one asked for anything as from what we know. Okay, from what we know. Somebody could have picked her up, seen the actions of what transpired, all those vehicles. They came there to find her. They could have freaked out, dropped her off, right? Dropped her off. And she wandered still out in the woods somewhere, or someone else picked her up. That could happen. Whoever picked her up could still have her somewhere. I would really, I mean, do we actually know what law enforcement was looking for when they went to Van Hill Road? Right? Okay, well, that was in the 1800s. Yeah, she could have really got lost in the woods. We don't know. It could have been an accident. Somebody coming around a corner too fast or whatever and accidentally hit her. Could it? Yep, absolutely, Fly. She could have wandered off and an animal got her. I know people want to act like that, that's just not something that is possible, but it is very possible. Wow, 10 miles away. I mean, really, how many people okay, seriously, leave me a comment and tell me what you think. How many people were kind of shocked when the Van Hill Road property was searched because of the distance from 110 to that property? What was it, 9 miles? Right? So, for real. I do hope this year they give us an update. For sure. For sure, for sure. Oh my God. The paved road is different than across the field. Right. Right. I mean, we can go so many freaking different directions. I mean, the who, nobody knows. What? We don't know. We don't know what. When? We really don't know when. We've got, what, a little bit of time frame there? I mean, where at? Allegedly, her scent ended at the end of the driveway, out in the road. I don't know. Don't know. Well, it was like they were playing games about the freaking timeline. Now, you know, they could have just said, law enforcement doesn't want us to tell you the timeline. I think, did Candace finally come out and say that? Did Candace finally come out and say that she said law enforcement said don't talk about the timeline? Right? What? Surveillance gap? Yes. Yes, KB. He talked about because she's so little. She was so little. They absolutely wanted to make sure that she was not there. So I think how they pretty much did it was they kind of estimated how far she might have been able to go at first. And he did recommend that they start going out further. For sure. I stopped listening to Don and Candace shortly after Fred came to YouTube. Well, right. You don't have to put all that in chat, KB. Yeah, as small as a laptop. As small as a laptop. And you have to remember also, they wasn't sure how long she had been gone. Big problem with that. Let me tell you why. Shouldn't have to tell you why. If you don't have a specific time to start with that a child went missing, you don't know how far that child could have got if they were out in the woods. Right? I never heard the vehicles being towed in for forensics. The only thing I know is that they did search the vehicles. Don said they searched actually searched his vehicle numerous times. He said he got sick of putting these tools in and out of it. That's what he said. Well, maybe you contact them, KB. Get a hold of law enforcement and tell them that they didn't search far enough. All right, KB, let them know. Let them know, KB. Right? Right. Okay, I'm getting my ass off here. Thank you guys for coming in and hanging out. If you're interested, we'll do a part 2 tomorrow. Lippy, I love your stuff. Hashtag love Lippy, guys. I know, Lippy, I got a big mouth. I talk too much. I do. Okay, you email it to me, H. I'll get right on that. For real. Yes, we're going to have to do a part 2, girl. I'm already at 3 hours and almost 15 minutes. Hey, appreciate you. Come on back. We're pretty good people over here. For real. Yeah, I mean, thank you, Sandy. Flies, I'm so glad you're feeling better. Well, oh shit. Didn't have my banner on. Hold on a minute. What is it? I hate that. Well, it's kind of late, but there's Summer's been missing since June 15, 2021 from Rogersville, Tennessee. If you have any relevant information, please call 1-800-TBI-FINE. Hashtag Justice for Summer. Please, someone know something. Stop the games. Bring Summer home. And the copyright disclaimer. I am a commentary opinion giving channel. Okay. Just to let y'all know. We talk about everything over here. Everything. Well, that's weird, KB. If you don't want to bother them. Okay. Girl, you do whatever you want. I ain't telling you what to do. No way, shape, or form. I mean, if those are just your feelings, then those are just your feelings. For sure. We all have our own opinions, and, you know, none of us think alike. And that's what, you know, that's why I like coming on here and hanging out with all you guys. Because we all think differently. Now, do I get a little feisty about my opinion sometimes? Absolutely. Absolutely, I do. But that's just me. That is just me. But I appreciate everybody hanging out. I appreciate all you guys in chat. Everybody. I mean, y'all police yourselves, and I appreciate that. My mods are all really good people. They really are. Usually you won't get thrown out or anything, you know, and unless you just are being an asshole. Okay. Don't be an asshole. Well, we don't mind people being assholes. Just be a nice asshole. Just be a nice one. That's all we ask. For sure. That is so funny. All right, you guys. Be you. Do you. If you got to get a little feisty, go ahead and do that. Lippy, I'm sorry again. I got a big mouth. So we're doing part 2 tomorrow. I am. For sure. Supposedly a guy the Wells have confined into giving lots of info. Oh my gosh. What number is he, Marie? What number is he? A guy that the Wells confided in giving lots of info. What number guy is he? Right? How many people have done that? I mean, okay, I'm interested, Marie. I want to see what he says. I mean, we've already heard a lot of shit, so I mean, I guess I'm interested to see what this guy says. Hey, Courtney, for sure. At 4:20. We will do it at 4:20 tomorrow. Then the guy should call TBI, not YouTube. That's what I'm saying. That is what I'm saying. Thank you, Linda. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that, KB. I just love people coming into chat because I try to say hi to everybody. I know I'm a slow growing, low budget channel, but I like to be able to talk to my chat. I do. I love Lippy. Well, this is the thing about Ryan doing the interview. And this is the way I am. If a creator that I may not care for does something, especially that I think is, you know, helpful with a couple things around, you know, Summer's case or whatever. If they do a good job, I think people should tell them it was a good interview. Now, I have to be honest. Yeah, I listened to the Bill Shipley and the other guy's interview, right? I felt nothing. Okay. For sure. But this woman that Ryan and Nana were there talking with, she seemed very genuine to me. She seemed very genuine to me. And I think it's sad that individuals believe that it's okay to go into people's lives and not even knowing them, turn their life upside down. I mean, but that's just the way I feel about that, you know, for sure. So yeah, I thought it was a good interview. And she, like I said, she seemed genuine, so. See, so many people in the area did not know Summer was missing. She said she didn't even know until the helicopter, and then she didn't know for sure till the next day, is what she said. Yes. Yes, that was, to me, that was a much needed, you know, interview for real. All the other interviews are, you know, but I mean, so far, the bottom line is that the individual that seems to be just name dropping and going after everybody is Fred and Ziggy. In my opinion, however you want to say it. For Fred not hanging around with people from the holler, you know, he sure acts like he knows everybody, right? Yeah, it's here. I mean, everything's hearsay. If you want to get technical, everything's freaking hearsay. For sure. I got fucking OCD. I got 7 minutes. Yeah. That's a bad thing. Yeah, it's just sad. Just sad. I don't know. It's like Tim Mullins. Every time I say I'm going to talk about Tim Mullins, I end up not talking about Tim Mullins. I think I talked about him once. Well, the thing about it is, no matter what direction you go, there's someone who leads the carnival, right? And it could be one person, it could be a couple people together. You know, who's running the show. I don't see, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, the footprints seem to be credible, only because of what the neighbor said, right? For sure. No, I have no desire to meet Dawn Wells or Candace. I really don't. They have not been arrested or anything concerning their daughter. I still don't believe law enforcement has came out and said they're not people of interest still. Law enforcement seems at this time to be like everybody's still a person of interest, right? Oh, he said that, Marie, but there's no proof of it. As far as the footprint, why not tell the actual searchers that was there? Yeah, he said it was a rumor. Yes, you're right, Flies. I'm glad you said that. Absolutely. Sure did. Yeah, he heard the rumor. Yep. Yep, for sure. I think Ernie's comfortable right now. He's got 3 hots and a cot, getting to work out. It ain't Ernie's first day at the rodeo, okay? He been in the jail before. You better believe his girls are sending him them honey bun money. Trafficked. I've got a whole list. Got a whole list of what could have happened. Yeah. Yeah. All right. I am getting off here, as I said earlier, and I still didn't get off here. Be you, do you. You guys come back tomorrow. For real. For real, for real. And I can't believe I've been on here this long, but hey. Hey, I was watching Lippy. Lippy, I should try to do a commercial for you. Really. Hey, Flies. Flies will write it. She's funny. She'll think of something funny. We need to do a commercial for Lippy. For sure. Yeah, bless his pea picking heart. Ernie. Hey. We're thinking about you. Hope you're doing good, brother. Hope you're doing good. For real. Hey, do they get Grinder in prison? Are they allowed Grinder in prison? Okay, I probably shouldn't have asked that. I'm supposed to be toning down a little bit. I probably shouldn't have asked that. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. He's in the Madison County, Kentucky jail. Oh, he's going to trial? Oh, damn it, Ern. For real. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. I hope not all Lisa K. What? Hey. Don't you be messing with Lisa K. She loves Ernie. She does. She may not admit it, but she loves him. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's her man's brother. Right? That's her man Shelby's brother. That's right. Shelby's in prison. Lisa got to take care of everybody. Yep. For sure. I know that. Well, good luck with that. You may, I don't know what to tell you. For sure. Hey, she may be your cup of tea. You never know. You just have to watch her and see, I guess. Funny. The shell bread has a bologna. First, it's Elisa K. That is funny. Good for you, Lisa. Hey, at least she's staying busy, right? That girl's busy. I don't have that much time either. I really don't. I don't. All right. Adore you guys. 4:20 tomorrow. Part 2. I promise, Lippy, I'll try not to talk so much. But I'll try. That's all I can do. That's the best I can do. For sure. All right. Adore you guys. Catch you later. Hashtag justice for Summer Wells. It's easier that way. It's easier to take care of your men when they're in jail. Right? She'd be on them FaceTime calls and shit. Oh, she was told wrong. Well, she gets told wrong a lot sometimes, Flies. Don't she? That is so funny. Lisa, you need to stop it. Quit letting people tell you stories. She's funny. That's funny. I love messing with Lisa K. She knows it. She knows I don't mean her no harm. Not at all. Need somebody to take care of the old you. Yep, make sure commissary has money. For real. You heard that? Yes. I heard that too. For real. Funny. I think she wants to believe the best in the Shell brothers. I know. But then you have to think about it. This is the way I thought about it. Because, she kind of knew. It's weird. I mean, okay, so she hooks up with Shelby. And Shelby even said that's how he knew her. She sent money on his books. That's what I heard it. I heard him say that. right? So she starts basically talking about that, Shelby's trial or whatever. I mean, she went in 100% on the Shelby Shell thing. And then she basically gets Ernie, right, as like a bonus kid, right? Yeah. She got Shelby and yeah, she kind of inherited Ernie. uh, I'm just saying, it is easier. It'd be easier for her. They're both in jail. You know, she just can just set up her little apps or whatever. She ain't got to worry about where they're at. I'm one of those old broke jealous women they call haters. No, I'm not either. No, we're not sending Ernie honey buns over here for sure. Funny. Oh, yeah, they love each other. Don't let them fool ya. Do not let them fool you. Them girls are hugging behind the damn scenes. I'm telling you right now. For real. They love each other. They know it. On the Kayla Massengill. I don't get in the middle of that nonsense fighting shit. Well, what you got to realize is this is kind of what happens. Let me see if I can. So they get mad at each other, and by getting mad at each other, they want to put out stuff that somebody said to someone else, right? So how I don't get it. I don't get it. You're only instigating things with other people. So how are y'all getting back and forth at each other? But that's just that's the way I think. Right. I don't know. I'm pretty weird because yep, she is. Lisa's a busy girl. Go ahead with the quick, honest question. I have no desire to know about any of your lives and would rather get to know people instead of knowing about people. What is all that? What? Thanks, KB. See ya. Have a good one, KB. I am waiting for the second part. No desire to know about any of your lives. Okay. Would rather get to know people instead of knowing about people. What is all that? All that what? Yeah, we got you, KB. Oh, they're not. Dude, nobody's digging up info on anybody. I don't like it. I don't like digging up info on people. I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. I mean, I absolutely do. I do. I do. A lot of people, I mean, well, we do, which Lisa, good luck. Good luck, Lisa K. Still trying to find yours. What? Trying to find what? They do that, Ziggy. Send you a news clip that you might find interesting over. Well, you do that. Send it to me. For sure. There's very few people that I really email with. And my peeps know who they are. You try to send that's a good idea. Guess Cletus wasn't good enough. What do you mean? Cletus? What do you mean he wasn't good enough? Oh, yeah, nobody ever emailed you, did they? That's funny. Hey, I'm good with that. For sure. Okay. I'm getting my ass off here. I am. I gotta eat my dinner. All right. I'll catch you tomorrow. Pick up conversation. Be there, be square. At least give me a thumbs up. Sub if you didn't sub. It ain't gonna freaking break your finger or nothing. Okay? It won't hurt, I promise. So, all right, peace out. Thanks, guys. I do appreciate you.